Jeff Barrett. My business is Jeff Barrett Woodworking. I do mostly custom cabinetry. When I can, I like to use local wood suppliers like Bill Moore. My business has been focused on getting my wood from sustainable sources. I buy a lot of certified lumber, the Forestry Stewardship Council, and I also get lumber from local sources, mostly for small special projects. There is a local market, which is really encouraging.
Hi, I'm Michael Keith of Michael Keith Restoration, and we primarily, I guess, do antique restoration, where we take old pieces of furniture and repair them.
We like to use local lumber because, first of all, it's green, it's available, and there's a lot of it. And if we don't use it, it's going to get burned up in somebody's fireplace.
This is actually a case for the living room. These 4 trees that we sawed this wood from were mature walnuts that were actually on the building site. They were older trees, they were in decline, so they needed to come down anyways. And the clients saw that as an opportunity to use the wood and feature it in their new house. We worked with a local sawyer, Bill Moore, to slice up these logs. This is basically a 1-inch thick slice taken from the tree. It's got some pretty interesting veneer, which was taken from near the base of the tree, which has some really prominent curl to it. To stretch the supply of wood, we actually sliced it into thin strips and laminated it to a substrate. So we really maximize the effect of this resource. And there's actually a small bullet that we're featuring in this panel.
With this wood up here, it's been given to me by a lady whose father used to be a woodworker, and it's all air-dried wood that they've had in their attic for, I think he said, like 30 years. Anyway, they've given it to us, and I'm now talking to a lady about building a dining room table out of it. So it's fairly exciting. And we aim to sort of build really nice pieces of furniture in a traditional way, the best that we can, and have them that they'll be able to be inherited by the next generation and be around for a long time, as opposed to sort of modern society where it's furniture that's made out of fiberboard and things that really falls apart and dissolves within one use.
This walnut, black walnut, is from a local farm down by Carter's Bridge. It comes from a land that was given in the 1600s as a grant. The original family still lives on the land. They want to have some furniture made. They had this tree taken down, and so we milled it down. This is just a couple leftovers.
Growing up in Charlottesville, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to work here and have work that is traditional from a craftsmanship point of view, and allows us to network in the local community with suppliers for material, for local sustainably harvested woods. It builds an overall sense of community, and I think that people in Charlottesville really appreciate that.
You know, we care about where we get our materials, where they come from, how they're used, and that's necessarily important to the work that we do. And I don't think I'd work for somebody else who didn't think about that or didn't care about that in the same ways.
Basically, I was given a big box, a packing case full of odd pieces from Chinese furniture. All these odd bits that have been cut off of case pieces of furniture, and we didn't really have much of anything. We had a couple of old boards, I think 2 or 3 old boards, and then a bunch of these old pieces. So what we did was put together this coffee table, and then sealed it all, put it all together, and we had sections of these panels that were cut off, which we used to put in a shelf, and two odd panels either side, and then a couple old boards we used to make the top, and then we like the lights pattern on this top, so left the boards with pretty much in their original shape. This is Chinese elm it's probably 200 or 300 years old, and was just, as I say, in a packing case. And now it's going to be a coffee table that hopefully someone will really get a kick out of and use and have for a long time.
The lumber that we would buy from a lumber yard, it's all basically picked to be consistent grain. It's all the same. So it's basically being picked for production type furniture, where everything should be the same. But we look for stuff that's kind of unique, because we like to build one-of-a-kind pieces.
So on the way to work this morning, I noticed that a large sycamore had been cut down in a yard. Hi. Sorry to bother you.
I'm sorry, but it was pretty heartbreaking when they cut my trees down. We started having sewer problems a couple days after we moved in, and we checked the line, and then we ended up calling the city. The city came in and said that my trees that have been growing here since Belmont was built, I'm guessing, and said our sewer lines are crushed by our trees, and they were really big trees.
If you're interested in having that, I could cut that up into usable pieces for you in exchange for maybe one of those larger pieces.
So this is one of my little sort of projects of reusing materials to recreate pieces of furniture that will then carry on and be used, instead of using brand new wood or lumber that's been cut down.
Somebody's chopping down forests to, basically deplete that source for production.
We're all doing our sort of own homegrown life cycle analysis
Yeah, exactly.
and how we fit into that process.